Hello and welcome back to another video on the channel. This video we're looking at Excel and we're going to look at formatting a worksheet. Okay, so the first formatting I'm going to do is I'm going to change these numbers here to currency. So all I do is select up here on the home ribbon, I choose currency. Now, default is pounds, and if I want to choose another currency, I can select from this list here, and you can see there's lots of different currencies for me to choose from. I can also specify that down to 0 decimal places if I want to. I can also specify on here how many decimal places I want that's got, so I can change that down to 0 decimal places. The next thing we're going to do is change these numbers here to percentage. So simply select percentage up there, and again I can specify here how many decimal places that is. Date. This here is in date format. Now I can choose short date or long date, depending on the date type I want. So short date is obviously a short date which specifies just the day and the month. Long date, on the other hand, specifies the month written out like that. I can also specify a time there. I can specify a number to be in time format, and again I can also specify specific number formats there. So if I choose time, I can specify the time location there if I want to, and I can choose the type of time there. So that can be in 24-hour format or 12-hour format. Now we're going to look at text wrap. So say I wanted this to be smaller, but when I decrease the column width there, my text disappears. So what I need to do is wrap the text. So if I double click here, then you can see that the text is wrapped, and I can specify if I want that to be aligned to the top or the bottom. I can also center that if I want to as well there, or have that left or right hand justified. So that is the wrap text there, and that is on the home ribbon. I also showed you there I can change the row height there like that by just simply moving that up and down. If I double click there, it will change to automatically how big it should be if I double click there. So if I move that back up there, if I double click here between the two columns, then I can see it changes to the correct height. I can also do the same thing with column there as well as row and column. Grid lines. Now I may want to take the grid lines off. So what I need to do is go to View and uncheck grid lines, and you can see that grid lines disappear there. Now, unless you're asked to do that specifically, there's probably not very many uses of that, but that is how you do that. That is uncheck that box there to put grid lines on and off. Merge and split. Now, I might want to merge these two cells, so go to Home and Merge and Center. Now if I don't want that centered, I can just left or right hand justify that, but that will merge and center these two cells. Now I may want to split the cells, so what I need to do here, so I'm going to click on that cell and go to Home and uncheck Merge and Center there. There's different options there as well that I can choose from. I've got Merge and Center, Merge Across, Merge Cells, and Merge Cells. Next thing I want to do is change the cell borders. And if I select a cell there, I can choose specifically the borders I want there. So I might want something to stand out there. I can choose a different border. I can also change a cell shading there by choosing a color there. And if I want to, I can also change the color of the font. Now the last thing in the video I'm going to show you is how to hide cells. So I may want to hide a column or a row. That's easy enough to do. Simply click on the column you want to hide and right click and hide. and it disappears. It's still there, you can see there's no G, but you can, and then if you want to, you can unhide that. Now, with a row, it's the same thing, right click and hide. And again, I can also right click and unhide that. And that comes back again. And that is how to format a spreadsheet. Hi, so in this video we're going to look at using Formula. Now, first thing I might want to do is just use a simple formula to add two numbers. So I can put equals there, and I might say that number plus that number there, which gives me 6, and I might want to just change that to 0 decimal places. Now, another thing I can do is change the plus to a divide. I can change the divide to a subtract, like that. So that is add, multiply, and divide. Sorry, just put the multiply in there, that is the star, and that multiplies the two numbers together. 2 times 4 is 8. Now, the next thing I might want to do is work out what is this as a percentage of this. So that is simple. What I do is that divided by that number there. So to make that work, I need to choose that as a percentage there. And I can specify 0 decimal places there. Now, let's look at absolute cell referencing. Absolute cell referencing locks a value in. So I want this OW venue fee, which I get from this worksheet here. So what I do is put equals, and then I choose that value there, 18. Now, again, that is a percentage. I'm just going to change that to currency. Now, if I copy this down, look what happens. It changes that to 0. I don't want that. So what I need to do then is put in absolute cell references. I want to lock onto this cell here. So if I put in $D, $10, use those dollar signs, $D, so column and row need dollars next to them. Copy that down. You see that locks that value in there, and they all change to 18. So now let's look at named ranges. Let's look at this table here. If I highlight it, I can name that as details. And the reason I might want to do that is if I don't want to use absolute cell referencing. So it might help me with specific things. So if I want to work out the discount, okay, on a cost reference, and it's in this table here. So I'm going to use a Vlookup to do this. Equals Vlookup, brackets. Helps if I spell it properly. Okay, if you've misspelled it, Excel will let you know that, because it's not going to come up with any suggestions. Right, and it's brought up the help function because I misspelled it. So I'll just close that. Okay, equals Vlookup. So highlight the table. That comes up with details there. If you haven't named the table, it will just come up with A1 to C7 there. So table array. So look up value first. Right. What am I looking at? Okay. I'm looking at the cost reference there. Right. Where am I going to find that? From this table here. Okay. What column is it in? 1, 2, 3. It is in column 3. Okay. Always choose exact match. So I'm going to choose false there and then press return. Okay. Now, cost of £400 should be 10%. Okay. So that's got that down there. Now, if I copy this down, you can see that that locks onto that value, and every single value would be correct. Whereas, if you hadn't have named that range, you would need to use absolute cell referencing. So I'm just going to demonstrate that. I've unnamed this table now. It's gone back to normal. So what I'm going to do is do this again. I'm going to redo the Vlookup and show you what happens if I don't use named cell ranges. So equals Vlookup. Okay. Lookup value, that one there. From where? from this table here, okay, from column 3, and again I'm going to choose false. Close brackets. Right, 10%, that's correct. But if I copy that down, suddenly goes to NA, okay, because that's gone wrong. So what I need to do now is I need to put the dollar symbols in here, $A, $1, $C, $7. So now when I copy that down, it does work. So there's two ways to round that. You can name the range there, or you can use absolute cell referencing to lock onto that value. And that completes the video on Formula. Thank you very much for watching. This video is going to look at functions. So we start with the sum. Sum simply adds cells together. So equals sum. Highlight the cell range there, or type it in manually. Close brackets, press return. That gives me all those cells added together. Average. So what is the average in this range there? Equals average. Open brackets. Highlight the cells. Close brackets. And that gives me the average there. And again, I can specify that to 2 decimal places or 0 decimal places if I want to. The average is 5.29. If can be used to compare two values. Vlookup. Now, I've looked at Vlookup previous video. Vlookup there stands for vertical lookup. And I'm looking at values based on a table. So if I just go delete that and start that again, I want to work out the discount based on the cost reference there. So equals Vlookup. Notice that Excel's helping you with this, and it'll give you some help there, or you can simply type that in yourself. So first thing I need to do is say, what value am I looking at? That one there, cost reference C. Okay, from this table here, what column? 1, 2, 3. I want the discount, that's in column 3. True or false? Always choose false there. You want an exact match. Close brackets. And that gives me the discount there. And again, I need to put in the absolute cell reference there. $A, $1, $C, $7 to lock that value on. So when I copy it down, it stays locked onto the right table. Let's look at maximum. Equals max. That's going to be the largest value. It's not going to work in that column. Let's do that in there. Equals max. What is the largest value in there? Close brackets, 575. And if I change that to equals min, that will return me the smallest value in that column. Might want to simply do equals count. How many values are here? So how many have I got in there? Close brackets, 14. Now it is currency. If I change that to number and 0 decimal places, that tells me that there's 14 values in that column. Now let's look at count if. So I want to count all the free kit bags there. So equals count if, range, choose the range there, that's the range of cells. Criteria, what is the criteria? Free kit bag. And that tells me that there's 4 there, which is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 free kit bags there. So that brings me back that value there. So now look at length equals len. What is the length of that there? So open brackets, what text? That text there, close brackets, that is 13 characters long, and that will include full stops and spaces as well. So the last one we're going to look at in this video is product. So equals product. So the same thing that you would get in maths, that will multiply. So if I choose the product of these two cells here, close brackets, that will multiply that cell there by that cell there. So 5 times 383 is 1915. Now multiple worksheets. I've got 2 worksheets here. Now, I showed you before how I used that with the VLOOKUP. I might just simply want a value from the other worksheet, so I simply, if I want to put a value there, I want to put this number here into this cell here, I simply put equals and I click on the cell there. And the benefits of that are that if this value changes, then this will automatically change as well. I don't need to change it in two places. So now, let's look at sorting and filtering. So I can apply a filter to a column there, and I can filter that out. I can uncheck, select all there, and I can simply apply filter to find all the C's, and that just brings me back the C's there. And I can undo that by clicking select all again. And then what I can do is I can sort this A to Z if I wanted to, like that, or Z to A. But that will also add in these cells here. It's quite difficult to do that if you've got extra values in there at the bottom, but you can see that this has sorted this into alphabetical order. Okay, so in this video we're going to look at making graphs. And what I want to do is make a graph of this data here and this data here. Now, what I need to do is hold down the Control key, CTRL key, because if I don't, I'll be highlighting all the data in the middle that I don't want as well. Simply go to Insert and then choose what kind of chart you want. And I'm going to choose a simple bar chart there, like that. So that has got my courses there and my total cost there. Now, I can edit the title here if I want. Now, say it was missing a title, I just simply click plus there, and I can check this box here to add my title and edit it. And give it a suitable name. So I'm going to call that courses and total cost. So that is a bar chart. I can also choose other chart types as well. I can choose a pie chart as well, like that, if that was suitable. Just enlarge that a bit. Now I can also add label data on there as well to make that, give that more sense. And again, double click on the top to add the title to it. I've also got other various options for charts as well. If we look through here, I've got scatter chart, I've got line chart as well, depending on the appropriateness of the chart that I need to choose. So you'll be told probably in the exam which chart you need to choose, or you may be told to choose the most appropriate chart. In most cases, I would have thought the most appropriate chart for you to choose would probably be a bar chart. Now, I may be asked to add a trend line. What a trend line is if I check this box here, is it shows the general trend of the data. So I can see that as the courses go up like that, then the price generally increases, and that is the trend. The trend is showing how things are, what the trends are, how things are increasing or decreasing. And that is how we add a trend line. We just click on plus chart elements there and click on trend line. So in this final video in the Excel series, we're going to look at printing, and I'm going to show you how to print in Formula View. So in your exam, you could potentially be asked to show these formulas. Now, when I print that off, I want the VLOOKUP to actually be displayed. So I click on Formulas and click on Show Formulas up here, and then I can print my Formula View off. Now, doing that, it's really important that you rearrange the sheet a bit so that tidies it up and so that we can actually see the full VLOOKUP there. And you may be asked to get that onto 2 pages. Now, that is simply a case of just spending some time organizing the columns there. Now, let's look at printing then. So, File Print. You can see it's on 3 pages. Now, if I want to get that onto 1 page, I need to click on Scaling and Fit Sheet on 1 page. but look at it, that's quite small. Okay, I may be asked to do that though, but if I choose no scaling, if I've got too many pages there, I simply go back, and it's just a case now of rearranging the columns. So if I need to get that onto 2 pages, I shrink that down. And what I'm looking for when I do that is I'm looking for, you can see these dotted lines here. They represent the page boundaries. So I can see that I'm still on 2 pages there. If I just bring that in a bit, then we can see that if I just delete that there, then I've now got that onto 2 pages. So now when I go to File and Print, now we can just see page 1 of 2. So I've got different options there. I can choose Portrait or Landscape. Now you must make sure that you edit the header and footer and that you put your details into the header and footer there. Now to edit the header and footer, I need to be in Page Layout, and you can see there I'm able to edit my header and footer there. Okay, so go back to get out of that, out of header and footer, go back to View, and just click off that and go back to normal, and that takes me back to normal view. So when I now go to File and Print, I can see my details at the top there that I'm able to print out. Now that concludes this Excel section. Hope that has been helpful. Please like and consider subscribing and comment below. Let me know how you get on. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Bye bye.